Alright, how's it going, YouTube? Bring y'all a quick recap of over the weekend's points race. So, if y'all watched the video, I started out with the Bullet. I don't like the Bel Air body much. That's just my preference. I feel like in the big end, it sways on me. So it was doing that, and I felt it was the body. So what I did was I took everything, all the electronics out of this car, and literally put it in Pro Stock, which was a Tombstone chassis. So I was fighting with that, trying to learn the tune and the gear ratio at the same time. The car just hit different to me because of just because. So I noticed that this car started to have, even when I took off the body, I noticed the car was driving back to me, and it was just, it would steer one way. If I corrected, it would steer the other way. And I just couldn't figure it out, and I didn't have enough time because the points race was about to start. So I just snatched out the system out of here, put it in the other one, and sent it. But as I went through the car, I finally figured out a few things that was off with it. One being the servo was loose. So the servo was literally rocking back and forth. So that's where the oversteering was coming from, or the bump steer, however you want to call it, was coming from. So I ended up working that out, and what I did next was, my steering servo used to be back here. I ended up moving it up so these arms could be straight. So right now it helped me with all of the bumps that I had it going on and everything like that. Car is pretty much how it should be. So I did test it. I didn't get no video of it, unfortunately. But I did test it, and the car was going straight on. And I even tested it with the Bel Air body, believe it or not. So we'll give it another shot and see what happens. But as for now, I'm hoping the way that I got the car set up is going to work. So I had lost one of my collars for the springs. So what happened was I had to use one off of another shock, and it was the same day I was using it, and I think it threw off the pivot in the shocks. Like this collar stood higher than the normal one. So what I did was I took the same collar and put it on that side, so that fixed the front pretty much. So what I gotta do now is dial in the after I fixed this, because I just fixed this after I tested it. Car was going straight, but it felt like it had a little bit of pulling to the left. So what I did was I just fixed the collar. So the next test session, hopefully I can get out this weekend. Now what I'm worrying about, since I changed the collar, it dropped the suspension more. So I'm hoping that the front clears. It might rub on braking, which I'm not that bad of, but going, I don't want no friction in between the body and the floor. That's going to slow me down. So hopefully we got everything worked out with this. All the steering is correct. We don't get no more bump steer. So we don't have much travel anyway in the front, but we might need it. We might need it. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. So I don't got scales, so I do my little weighing by itself. And the car should be dialed in, but if not, we'll get it back dialed in as far as the front suspension, because I was messing with it. So I'm hoping everything is how it's supposed to be, and then we'll go from there. So let me get the Tombstone up here, and then we'll go from there. Alright, so I threw everything back in here to get the Pro Stock back ready. But as far as the setup on the car, it was great, but I got it set up to take a P curve. Like the suspension is set up for like a harder hit off the line, to where I shouldn't even say hard, I should say a softer hit compared to how I'm coming off the line in a groove. So it's throwing the whole car off, and that's what was upsetting it that day. So I was only limited to a certain point at the starting line, and after that I had to adjust ramp and my power in the curve. Yeah, so after that I had to adjust ramp and point and everything in the curve just to try to get the car moving as fast as it can, but I noticed it would only take but so much. And I know it was due to the way I got the car set up and everything like that, but it did good. It did what it did, pretty much. It went down every time I needed to, and that's where it counted at. So it was consistent. I just couldn't, I didn't want to push it at that because the car, the body on it, it was a few things. Like, it was pretty much set up for a pro stock, but it was good that I had this for backup to throw my system in it and at least was able to run. So it was fun. Definitely was fun. I definitely want to change the servo, as I was saying, up more, because I think I would have had a greater advantage if I was able to move my weight up more. So I would be able to apply more power, if that makes any sense. So yeah, so far so good. Hopefully the bullet is back. I'm hoping that it's back. I just did some more adjustments. Let me get it. Alright, so that's with the battery in it, right? It sits level, nothing scrapes on the ground. I end up putting more preload in the shock, so I'm hoping that works out. So as far as the car moving, me pushing down on the wheelie bar, you can see that the front doesn't raise up. So that's what it should do when it's coming off the line, just like that. Car has enough flex in it to take the valve, so that's how I got it set up anyway. So I'm hoping that worked. The suspension is dialed in, like the car goes straight and come back straight every time. So I'm glad that I got the front worked out up here. Hoping we could definitely put some more in it and go from there. We'll definitely be pushing it though, so we'll see what happens. So y'all stay tuned. Hopefully, as I said, we could get out. We got a couple new spots we're supposed to hit up and try out, so hopefully we could get out and mess with those. So y'all stay tuned and more to come.